Today we continue our series on the Tech Museum of Silicon Valley, sharing with you its hidden treasures, the must-see exhibits, and all the reasons not to miss visiting it. So we welcome Roqua.
Thank you.
He's been with us on the show before, and so for all our audience that didn't get to hear you before, why don't we start with what is a Tech Museum about?
Tech Museum is about being that go-to place for science and technology where people can come to be inspired, educated, to learn about innovation, and certainly to inspire action.
So some of the exhibits I think I've seen there, one of my favorites, you introduced me to last time. Maybe we should tell everybody about it.
You must be talking about Ingenious Innovations, Islamic Science Rediscovered.
Yes.
That's where we take our visitors through the golden age of science, where you can learn about optics, mathematics, flight, and the like. And you should know that it is now free and open to the public.
Everybody has to attend this exhibit. I was surprised how many things I didn't know about it. I'm sure a lot of people don't ask ourselves what, is the history of innovation. So you definitely educated me the last time we were there. So that's one exhibit to see. So what else should one visit?
Well, I have to tell you, there's always something new happening at the Tech Museum. We just recently opened a new exhibition. It's called the Tech Test Zone. You can actually go in and see prototypes of technology of tomorrow, today.
So give me an example.
An example would be our Pixel. It's an eye tracking technology where you pick up a device that's similar to a camera and you can look through it. And the people who are standing next to you can tell exactly where you are looking. You'll be seeing some various screens and movement, and your eye will track through this device, and people can see right down to the pinhead of where your eyes looking.
And this is not in the market at all.
Absolutely not. And what's very interesting about that is that once you've experienced these devices, you can then offer some input. We have some computer tablets nearby where you can offer feedback and you can have a hand in the development of the device.
It is all user-driven these days, so that makes a lot of sense, especially the Tech Museum should do this. I heard there's also public standing Google Maps.
That's right. You're talking about Silicon Valley Innovation Gallery. That's also one of our newer galleries where we have, of course, you're familiar with Google Maps.
Yes.
Well, this is a 6-screen step into the experience Google extravaganza, if you will. You can be standing obviously at the Tech Museum, but transport yourself anywhere around the world, into space and underwater.
So it's like you're actually taking a tour around the world just from where you're standing.
That's right, with the push of a button and the turn of a lever.
Wow, so I could even see like what's happening maybe in, I don't know, maybe China, maybe Africa, just by standing between these 6 different screens.
Anywhere on the globe.
Wow, that's going to save a lot of flight miles. But okay, so what else is there? I understand that you also had a recent lecture series on algebra, which is totally sold out.
Yes, as part of the Islamic Science Rediscovered exhibition, we have also added a lecture series. And we just had one on the birth of algebra. And it sold out. More than 175 people came. Packed audience, but looking forward, we also have 2 other lectures that are also worthy of coming to check out.
So what are these lectures about in terms of, are they all covering the same subject, or why should one really come?
Sure. The basis of each springs from the exhibition, and it is always about exposure and expansion. As I mentioned earlier, the Tech Museum is always about enlightenment and education.
Right.
And so these lecture series help to provide that opportunity as well.
So it sounds like a little bit deeper dive into the same subject?
Absolutely, absolutely. Come, be inspired, learn more, be enlightened. Yes.
So what are the 2 upcoming series?
The first is Muslims and how they view science and evolution.
Okay.
And the second will be in February, and that's on carpets and computers.
Carpets and computers. Who would have thought carpets and computers have anything to do with each other, except maybe computers could make carpets fly, but other than that, what do they have to do with each other?
Well, we asked that same question, and the answer really lies in the fact that the mathematical process, the thinking process behind weaving and looms or looming certainly has some basis in how one might put together the guts or the core of a computer.
Oh, interesting. So we can actually come and see the details around how that happens. People like to come and talk about all the things that are happening in the world, but really it's not cool anymore to not really know what you're talking about. So I'm glad to see that Tech Museum is taking a little deeper dive into educating everyone. So in terms of the next thing, I also understand there was a Michael Wolff film that's coming out?
That's correct. Michael Wolff executive produced a new film that's premiering in the Bay Area, and it's actually a mouthful, so let me get it right. It's called Islamic Art, Mirror of the Invisible World.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
It is. It's a fantastic film, 3 years in the making. It's a 95-minute documentary, and it takes us across several continents, 9 I believe, and there's over 1,400 years of history.
Wow, all this at the Tech Museum.
Absolutely.
You know, how can one not visit? You've been a great guest on our show. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
The Tech Museum is a treasure of amazing new exhibits like the Tech Test Zone and the Did You Knows. There's always something new and exciting at the Tech. So take a tour around the world for invention innovations with your friends or family to learn, explore, and be inspired.